This is a really good book, by the way. Highly recommend it. Today, I'm going to be talking about how to make money as a documentary filmmaker. This is something I know every filmmaker I talk to has gone through a period of time in their life with which they've really struggled with finding out how to get clients and finding ways to have consistent income. It was also almost the reason why I gave up as a filmmaker, because I didn't have all these strategies and techniques that I'm going to be talking about today in this video. And I got to a point where I had 50p left in my bank account and I was so stressed. I didn't know how I was going to pay for bills, I didn't know how I was going to pay for rent. Thankfully, I kept going and I've now learnt different techniques on how to make money as a documentary filmmaker. And that's what I'm going to be sharing in this video. But before I get into that, I just want to point out that this is no magic bullet, no secret sauce. At the end of the day, it takes a lot of time and effort to make filmmaking your full-time career. But my hope with sharing these steps is that it will give you clarity and focus so you can start earning money as a filmmaker much faster. Or if you're already making money as a filmmaker, how you can scale your filmmaking business. So to start with, I like to ask why a brand or business should hire you as a documentary filmmaker. They'll hire you if you're able to pinpoint their biggest problems as a business and provide a solution to this problem using video. So for example, they may be struggling to attract new customers, and you could suggest creating a regular video series for social media that encourages new audiences to visit their website and purchase their product. Okay, so now that you know why a client will hire you, how do you get and keep clients? First up is to master your skills. You're only going to get hired if you can make good films. So start by practicing your filmmaking skills whenever and wherever you can. Go out and film your friends and family at social gatherings or film events happening in your local community. Go to different environments that inspire or challenge you and practice until you're confident filming with your camera or your phone. Also, make sure you watch films, content, and series and study how these stories are told to work out what makes them engaging and interesting. It's important to ask yourself, what separates you from the competition? Lots of beginner filmmakers think it's their camera, and yes, it does make a difference, but what really makes you stand out is your filmmaking skills, and mastering these skills takes time. Step 2 is create your own films, which I like to call personal projects or passion projects. For me, this has been the most effective way to win new clients and to get paid for work that I'm excited about. The key with these projects is to create the kind of films that you want to get paid to do. A client will only hire you if you can show them that you've already made the type of film that they want for their brand. This is because a client wants to see a proof of concept and wants to know what the final product will look like before they commit to spending money on hiring you. It's kind of like seeing a menu before ordering out at a restaurant. The client likes to know what they're getting. So if you're trying to get work as, say, a wedding videographer, how about filming a few weddings for free in exchange for being able to use it in your portfolio? Or if you're wanting to make, say, a food commercial, go to your local food market and find a small business owner whose products you like and offer to make them a film for free in exchange for being able to use it as a portfolio piece. I spent a year in New Zealand filming action and adventure videos, and because of these portfolio projects, I was hired to make a number of action sports films for clients, including a global campaign video for Canon. So it's a super effective way to get new clients as a filmmaker. But where do you host these films when you're ready to share it with a potential client? Well, this leads me on to step number 3, which is to build your portfolio. Put together a website. You can use platforms like Wix, Squarespace, or even Vimeo to help with this, as they all offer great portfolio templates for filmmakers. On your website, showcase your best work. And when you send a potential client your portfolio, make sure you only send them the work that relates to the specific service and product you're providing them. For example, say if you're offering to make a wedding video for a client, only send them examples of wedding videos. Otherwise they'll just get confused if you include a documentary you've made of, say, penguins. A good tip is to create several portfolio pages on your website for the different industries that you work in. That way, when you send your portfolio to a potential client, you can just send the videos that are most relevant to the industry that they're in. Tailoring your portfolio for your audience will increase your chances of getting hired, as it communicates how the service and product that you offer fits what they're looking for. Step 4 is to market yourself. So now that you've mastered your skills as a filmmaker, filmed some personal projects, and created a website, it's time to reach out on social media, via email, and in person. You want to offer an insane amount of value up front to production companies, brands, and experienced filmmakers who may want to hire you. But the key to successfully marketing, no matter the industry, is to add value first, before trying to sell your product or service. This is where I see a lot of filmmakers going wrong when they're trying to win a new client. They ask to be hired before adding value. And the secret to getting a new client is to always add value first, before asking for something. You want to give as much value as you can first, so they know what you're worth, and that they can trust you. So how can you provide value to a potential client? Well, there are lots of ways. The most effective way would be to make a free film for them, or you could give them some free marketing or video advice. This could be through a Zoom call with them, or by creating an ebook that you send them. It's important though, when adding value, that you have no expectations that they'll hire you, as this strategy doesn't guarantee you'll be hired, it just greatly improves your chances. You can also market on social media by sharing your portfolio and behind the scenes of your films. This will also help to build trust and credibility with potential clients, because if they follow you, they'll be exposed to your work and think about you more regularly, especially if you're posting on a daily or weekly basis. Now we're on to step number 5, which is to team up with filmmakers that already have clients. This is something I did when I first started out, and still do, as it saves so much time, and you can spend more time on making films rather than having to spend time trying to find clients. Look up advertising agencies or more established filmmakers who have a database of clients. You won't make as much money per job doing it this way as you would going direct to these clients, but it saves you a lot of time, and this will give you more time to make films and practice your filmmaking skills. My last step, step number 6, is to nurture relationships. The biggest way that I land new jobs is through word of mouth. And this happens through nurturing relationships with previous clients. You can do this by arranging a time for a Zoom catch-up or for a coffee, and by continuing to add value to their life. For example, the way I managed to get a job on the Oscar-nominated film The Eagle Huntress was by regularly keeping in contact with the producer. So after we'd first spoken on the phone, I kept in touch, and as I knew they were looking for funding for their project, rather than just saying I want to work with them, how do I get involved? I first started by giving value and sending links with the latest funding opportunities that I'd heard about. And eventually a position opened up, and because I'd consistently kept in contact with the producer, I was in the front of his mind when an opportunity finally came. And those are my steps to getting work as a filmmaker. If you want more filmmaking tips like this, I've created a free filmmaking training where I share 10 tips to creating cinematic documentaries. To access this free training, all you have to do is click the link in the description, sign up, and you'll get instant access. I hope you have an awesome day, and thanks for watching.